back to Restart Episode 3. Last time we unlocked the 4th combat style, Necromancy, alongside the Underworld Easy tab. Then we unlocked a brand new city and an island filled with dinosaurs. Let's look at the list of area tasks, and you can see that the Easy Wilderness and the Underworld is completed. So let's go for more easy tasks like Falador, and then we followed it with Beginner Lumbridge. Since these two task requirements already completed or non-existent, let's head to Lumbridge and start completing the beginner tasks. And some of the beginner tasks already been completed throughout questing or traveling to that area. We got 2 quick tasks completed by talk to Doomslayer and the Lumbridge Sage. Then we head to Lumbridge Castle and raise the flag. Climbing to the top of the castle, we got an achievement followed by raising the flag for another one. Now we head to the Lumbridge Marketplace and find Herald and claim the cape. It's just a cosmetic cape, so we are going to dump it into the bank and forget it and go to the church. And there are 3 achievements located here. One of them is by playing the piano, and then another one is by ringing the bell at the top of the church. And the last will be talking to Father about gravestone. Now we head to the Lumbridge swamp area and complete 2 more achievements. One is by fishing for shrimp, followed by mining for copper ore. Then we take the raw shrimp and sell it to the fishermen located at Lumbridge Market. Now we head to Lumbridge Mill and make a pot of flour. It's fairly easy, just pick up the wheat from the wheat field, then climb to the top of the mill, place it into the hopper, then press the lever to grind the wheat into flour. Now we head back to the bottom and pick up the empty pot from the shelf, then we use that empty pot into the flour bin. And we should have made a pot since we need to create one from scratch for an achievements. So we might clay from the clay rock for one of the achievements. Then we head to drainer and convert the raw clay into soft clay. After that, we went to the pottery house and made the unfired pot. Then we put the unfired pot into the oven to get the last achievement of beginner Lumbridge task. And the last achievement is by going to the drainer market, talking to this guy, and that would be the last one. We head to the Lumbridge market and go to Explore Jack to claim the reward. And the reward suck, but we are 1/4 of fully completing the Lumbridge tasks. Now we head to Falador and complete the easy task. Sadly, the achievement Disarming and Rebarking is completed and accidentally completed by doing daily runs. Here we are in Falador trying to kill a duck for an achievement, but the goddamn hitbox is impossible to click. I know about target cycling, but I don't wanna bind it at the moment. Now we head south into the armory shop to buy the black chain body, then we equip it to get achievements chain store. Now we head to the castle for 2 more achievements, and one of the achievement is by finding Serenity and ask him for the family crest, and we find him upstairs on the east side balcony. Then we head west to climb upstairs to the top of the castle and get the achievement Serenity. Then we head back down to go to Falador party room, which is located east from Falador Park. And here we are at the party room talking to Party Pete for the achievements. Now we need to make a mine tiara, and good thing it's not from scratch since we don't have the requirement to complete it otherwise. So I bought the tiara and the mine talisman from the GE. So the only thing we need to do is to go to the mine altar to craft the mine tiara, and it's located east from the goblin village. Now we use the mine talisman to the mine altar to create the mine tiara. Now we head to the Port Serum rune shop and find a wizard around it. For this achievement, we need to attack a wizard corresponding to the elements equipped. Example is we equip an air spell, so our target is the air wizard, and that's one of the achievements. Then we head north to the farm area to buy an amulet of farming for an achievement. Now we go west to the crafting guild and find the highwayman. Then we kill it for an achievement, my way or the highway. Now we head back to Port Serem and go south into the altar. Then we click the altar to restore the prayer points for an achievement. Now we head back to Falador and go to the hairdresser and feed the chinchampas with cheese for the achievements. For anyone wondering, the cheese is from the Grand Exchange. Then we buy an empty bucket from the general store. Then we fill the bucket with water from the pump located waited outside. Now take a break and buy a glass of beer from the bar. That's another achievement completed. Now for the last achievements. Let's go to Falador Park and climb down into the giant mole layer. And that's the last achievement for the easy Falador. To claim the Falador task, we head to Fort Serenbar. Ask the captain for the reward. The reward is okay, but we are 1/4 of completing the Falador task. We head to Anachronia and check my base camp, and we head to Herbiworby afterwards. I won't be showing myself upgrading every time I get all the resource to upgrade it, especially when it's time gated. Here we are back in Herbiworby, and this time I'm gonna be burning weed for fire making. After the D&D is finished, I can buy a herb bag 2 more weeks for the upgrade, and I won't be buying the upgrade until I'm able to buy all the one-time buy. So I bought all the talisman to upgrade the Wicked Hood. Sadly, we cannot fully upgrade the Wicked Hood since we need level 50 to get into the crafting guild to claim the Omni Talisman, since the Astral Talisman doesn't exist. So we collected these berries from these bushes located south at Varrock next to the mining area. Then we bought some anti-poison, papyrus, and charcoal from this shop located south at Kramja. Here we are at the city of starting the quest Soul Searching. Let's spy on these suspicious people here. Look like one of them want to move on. The stranger is going to take them into the Sanctum of Rebirth. So let's ask Def about Sanctum of Rebirth. Basically, didn't tell me anything about it. Just we need to find it for ourselves. So we head back and ask the stranger. She basically ignores us unless we are undead or a spirit. So we went back and asked Def to turn us into undead or spirit. Sadly, it's permanent. So Def sent us to Malgus for a temporary solution. Here we are, the ritual from asking Malgus. He required 10 fishing bait, 3 cardava berries, anti-poison 3 dose, charcoal, and a papyrus to make us into a zombie. And we got a special dialogue for having all the items required from the start, which is hilarious since the player should not know about it before starting the quest. We head back to the stranger and ask them to take us to the Sanctum of Rebirth while being a zombie. Here we are in the Sanctum of Rebirth, and a clone is waiting for us. Apparently, the stranger is a minion of the Devourer. It'll be a long time until we figure out who the Devourer is, since it's a Grandmaster quest. After giving all the information to Iclern, the quest is completed, and we got access to Sanctum of Rebirth. And we're gonna be ignoring this dungeon for a long time since we are too weak. Now we head to our Doin to start and complete multiple short and easy quests. Here we are starting a quest that required us to infiltrate a cult to retrieve a household armor. To infiltrate, we have to turn all the 5 valves and put them in the right position. Behind the house, we turn the valve to the right. Across the bridge, we turn it to the right. East of the clock tower, we turn it to the left. A valve to the penguin cage, we turn it to the right. And the last valve located near the drunk monk, we turn it to the right. Now we head into the cave next to the clockwork tower. We speak to this hooded stranger here, and he talks about the history of the Erlin's household. Then he offered to join his cult or refuse it, and depending on the option, you will get a different path. Since we are going fast, we are going to refuse it. We board the raft and head to the cult members gathering. We found the leader and asked him kindly to get the armor back. Instead, he refused and started blasting us, so we fight back and kill him. We can get 2 copies of the armor by dropping the armor after we pick it up, then we kill him again after we respawn. In order to keep the armor, you place 1 of them into the bank. Here we are back to the starting area, turning the armor and claiming our reward. We try to tell him that his butler is a cult member, but we have no evidence that he's a part of the cult. So he only gave us 5 coins for the quest. We head upstairs, find evidence, since there's no way getting away with it. And by looking at this wardrobe, we got our evidence. So we yelled to Cherlin that we found some evidence. He tries so hard to hide it, forgetting about the amulet from the cult. So the butler got arrested, and we got ourselves the full reward and some extra thieving XP that got us to level 15 thieving. So let's go to the well at the south of the zoo. We pick up the bucket and fill it with water for our quest requirement. Now we head to the clockwork tower. Let's talk to Brother Kojo, who tell us that the clockwork tower has been broken and it required us to fix it. So we went to the center room and went down the ladder into the basement. We can see colored tile on the floor. Based on the colored tile, it will lead us to a cog corresponding to the colored cog, and we are only allowed to have one of them in our inventory. We can see from the 4 colored tile that 4 cogs are missing. That means we had to do this 4 times. So we're gonna be starting with the black cog. We went down the hallway, found the black cog surrounded with fire. Since we have a bucket of water, we are able to pick them up. Now we head back to our center room and place it on a black spindle. Then we had to find the red cog from the red door. It was behind a multiple ogres. So we pick it up and use the technique of running away. We went back to the first floor and placed the red cog on the red spindle. Now we head to the zoo at the camel enclosure and go down the ladder. In just a couple hallway and we finally got the blue cog. Now we head back to the clockwork tower and go upstairs and place it on the blue spindle. And for the last cog, we head back down to the basement and head to the white colored door. Here we are at the end of the hallway next to the rat cage. This puzzle is a bit messed up since we need to pull both lever up to open it. Then we head back down the hallway and pick up the rat poison. Then we put the rat poison on the tray inside the rat cage and watch all the rat drink it and try to escape. The door will be loose enough to open it. Now we're able to pick up the cog, and that was pretty messed up there. We head back to the clock tower and go to the top, then place it on the white spindle. We head back to Brother Kojo and claim my reward. Before we start another quest, we need to get a jug of water and a log. The jug of water are fairly quick. We head to Port Khazard and buy a jug from the general store. Then we head west to the house that has kitchen to fill it up with water, and the log is by cutting any tree. Now we head to the monastery and start a quest. This quest is extremely quick. We basically have to retrieve a sleeping blanket from a thieves. Their hideout is located south of the clock tower to the ring of stone. Once we enter the ladder, we head to the table and retrieve the blanket. After returning to the monk, they want to have a birthday party for brother's android son. But we need to find Childred since he has been missing for a while. We head north and found him next to a barrel full of wine and a broken cart. By talking to him, he's obviously drunk for a while now, so we gave him the jug of water to help him out. Now he's sober. He required log to fix the cart, which we gave him. Now we head back to the monastery and start the party. We got ourselves level 13 wood cutting and achievements party pooper by popping the balloons on the ground. We head south to start another quest. We speak to this lady Serville to start the quest. Basically, her husband and her son got ambushed and kidnapped by the General Khazard's men. In order to infiltrate the army, we need to find an outfit to match the other armies, which we found at the northern building. Now we equip it and head to the main arena. Now we head to the General Guard. By talking to the general, he got lazy over the year. So we head west to the bar and buy a high quality brew to make him pass out and hopefully get his key. So we persuade the general to drink the whole bottle until he passed out. No wonder why Lanaka say we did a lot of messed up things. We head to the jail and free the boy. After freeing the boy, we found his father currently in a fight, which we intervened to save him. In order to free both of them, General Khazard suggested we take their place, take us to jail. After talking to Henrod, we start fighting a couple monsters. It was fairly easy to kill. With protection melee, any melee damage is reduced. After killing General Khazard, we head back to Lady Serville and claim my reward. We got level 29 attack and level 20 thieving. Now we head to the witch's house next to Falador, start another quest. We need to retrieve the boy's ball from the witch. So we head to the entrance of the house and found this suspicious potted plant which contained the key of the witch's house. Now we head inside, but the garden is mostly locked. Instead, we head downstairs, kinda sus for having an electric gate, so we loot the crate, something to help us. Then we equip the glove and open the gates. We loot this cupboard and got a magnet. We head back to the first floor and pick up a cheese. Then we place the cheese in the mouse hole to lure out the mouse. Then we use the magnet on the mouse to open the door. Now we are able to go outside outside the garden, and that was convoluted. We loop around the perimeter to get into the fountain, making sure we don't get seen by the witch. Now the shed is open and we can enter. Upon trying to pick up the ball, a monster spawned and started to attack us. It looked like the monster transformed every time you kill it. It took a while, but we managed to kill it and pick up the ball. Now we head back to the boy and the quest will be completed. That gave us 4 quest points. We should have completed this quest earlier, but the monster would have killed us. So any hardcore players, be careful in trying to complete this quest at the early game. Since we are next to Falador, we could start the quest line Wanted. And the quest Wanted will be required for a lot of quests, especially for Grandmaster. Let's go to Falador Castle and start the quest recruitment drive. We climb the western tower stairs. At the 3rd floor, we finally start the quest recruitment drive by talking to Sir Admec Ves. We head to Falador Park and talk to Sir Tifiti Kashin for the test. At this moment, I realized that entering Abyss wasn't completed. So we head to Edgeville and enter the wilderness. Then find the Mage of Zamorak. He basically tells us to speak to him at the Temple of Zamorak in the southeast of Varrock. Here we are at the Temple of Zamorak, asking the Mage of Zamorak where he get his runes from, basically telling us the backstory of the Mage of Zamorak, how they got betrayed by the Saradomin wizard for the first tower going down. We learned that from the rune mystery. So we agreed to help out the Mage of Zamorak for getting access to the essence mine. There are 3 wizards that have access to the essence mine. Right click on him and enter the essence mine. Get your wicked hood and go through Wizard Tower. He'll be located on the 3rd floor and sitting down reading a book around the balcony. The last is in the northern east of Ardoin with the blue building. Now we return to the Temple of Zamorak and gave the mage back the scrying orb. Then we speak to him a second time to complete the quest. Now we are able to enter the abyss, access a shop and a small pouch that hold any essence for rune crafting training. We bank everything and then head back to Sir Cash to finish up the recruitment drive quest. We need to solve varieties of puzzles and there are different order per account. And our first puzzle is from Sir Itching Hood, reading the first letter of each line when he gave out the clue, and the answer is bite. So we put in the answer in the combination lock by clicking the arrows to the letter. Our second puzzle is by defeating a soldier with our bare hands. This fight take way too long. I regret not doing waterfall quest for strength XP, since bare hand used strength XP level as damage. That took around 11 minutes of fighting. The next puzzle is simple. We just need to have the fox, the chicken, and the bag of wheat across the bridge. We can only take one of them across the bridge, but you cannot leave the fox and the chicken together or the chicken and the wheat, since the fox will eat the chicken and the chicken will eat the wheat. And there are many ways to solve this puzzle, and the way we're gonna solve it is by taking the chicken first across the bridge, then we go back and take the fox across the bridge, and then take the chicken back to the original spot. Now we take the wheat across the bridge, then we turn back and grab the chicken, and that's the puzzle completed. Now another puzzle, and this one is a bit tricky. First we search everything in every shelf and every boxes. Now we pick up the metal spade and use it on the Bunsen burner. Then we jam the metal spade into the door. Then we use the copric phosphate on the stone door, followed by the vial of liquid in order to glue them. Now the first door can be opened. For the second door, we need to make a replica key. Use the Geism on the tin, followed by the vial of liquid to make the mold. Then we use the mold on the key from the wall to make an imprint. Now to make the mold of the key by using copric ore powder on the tin, followed by the tin ore powder. Then you use the tin on a Bunsen burner. Now to carve into a key by using the knife, followed by the bronze wire or the chiseled on the tin. Now we can open up the second door and go through the portal. Now for the last puzzle, if you haven't seen any god tier lock before, now you will see one. For this puzzle, you need to find the missing statue, and you can look up each statue or take a screenshot, but I didn't do any of that. I just winged it, even though I was recording, but I didn't want to, turn it off. And that was the quest completed, and we accidentally sat on an old man's lap and got an achievement for it since we were trying to ask him for another quest. Apparently he made a blunder since you cannot join the Temple Knight unless you serve as a squire for 5 years within the White Knight. Before we head to the castle, we need to get a combat gear set up since we are gonna go to a fight and my bare fist won't cut it. Now we head to the castle and climb upstairs in the west tower. We denounce being a temple knight to validate faster. Basically a loophole. Sir Amek accept our resignation. Now we head back to Sir Tiff in Falador Park. We told Sir Tiffy about our resignation of the temple knight. Since we are not part of the Temple Knight, we can take part in hunting down Delgard. Then we head back to confirm with Sir Amek. Upon speaking to him, he's word that Delgard has returned to Asgardia. After confirming we are going to help out, we return to Sir Tiffy and my readiness to fight Delgard. Instead, he warned us about his power level and we are extremely weak. But we insist of fighting him, so he told us that the communication orb is required to hunt him down. He thanked Kason since it's faster to give him the money than go to the Grand Exchange. Now we right click contact with the orb to view our assignment detail. 7 is our communicator, and so we ask her about our current assignment. Apparently the orb has limited range, so she suggests we investigate the Black Knight at the Taverley dungeon alongside the Mage of Zarmak in the Varrock. Let's start with the Black Knight. We use the lodestone to teleport to Taverley, then we head south to the Weavield, then we use the stairs to go down to the Taverley dungeon. This place is linear, so we just have to travel to the end. There are a few shortcuts like going to this gate followed by the wooden door. We need to run fast since the monster will be aggressive and we are getting closer to the Black Knight hideout. Now here we are, we just need to find the throne room. It looked like Lord Dukorius is here. We try to play nice, but this jackass is tough and won't help us. So we kill one of the knights and see what he would say. And there it is. What a coward begging for mercy. Apparently he doesn't know Delgard's exact location, but we got a clue that he might be an area with furry creatures. Place that we know that has fur is Canafis. That place is filled with monsters and some of them has fur like a werewolf. So let's go investigate the Mage of Zarmak. Here we are at the Temple of Zarmak. Ironically, he's much more honest than the other guy. He acquired some essence for the information about Delgard. He sends Delgard's aura towards east. So I confirmed we need to travel to Canafis. Here we are at Canafis, and Sevet already found some info on Delgard. Sevet realized Delgard is using the old research about slow teleport. Basically, it's a teleport extremely slow between 2 points and turn you extremely thin so that you become invisible while simultaneously being in 2 places. We are going to use the orb to block his teleportation magic, but it required us to be close to him, and we finally found him next to the bank of Canafis. Before he teleported away, we are able to retrieve an item to clue us to his next whereabout, and that's Framanek Cape. So let's use the lodestone to Framanek and head to Relica. We use the orb again and find his whereabout. He managed to teleport away again, but we got a clue that his next location is going to be the Champions Guild from the Blue Cape. So we head to the Champions Guild and use the orb once again, trying to find him. This time he created a smoke to run away, and the clue is a beer. Let's head to Dragon's Inn at Yanel. Here we are using the orb once again, trying to find him. Now he got mad and nearly killed us, but not for Savet saving us from the blast. And our next clue is a place that sells Runeplate Buddy. So we head to Ozak Armor Shop in Edgeville. Here we are using the orb once again. This time a woman appeared and she was kidnapped by him. Now she's free, but in the end it was a trick. It looked like a couple more until we finally stop him. Another clue is a Castle War ticket, so we head to Castle War at west of Yanel. Here we are again. This time he sent Black Knight to kill us, but it was too weak for us. It looked like Savet is able to finally track his exact teleportation, and it's located in the Rune's Essence Mine. And the fastest way to get to Rune Essence Mine is by going to Bertrop and using the Rune Shop. This time Savet can block all the exiting except for the Temple Knight. Either he fight and die die or he surrender. And we sent an army at him, but he used Ice Power to one-shot all of them. Now for a fight, and that was anticlimactic. At least we got his hat as a trophy. Now we head to Sir Amic and show him Dugrick's hat. After giving him the hat, the quest is completed. We got level 20 Slayer alongside access to Temple Knight's Armory shop. That was a very long quest. After a while, the MTX removal is here. Upon logging in, we see a brand new UI and the overall change. Jagex is keeping their promise to improve RuneScape 3. I love this UI change. In fact, we can change the map and the chat to resemble old version. Under interface, into appearance, you can change the minimap and the chat backs to the good old days. And the minimap shape changing into circle and the chat style to classic. Under additional option, you can hide cosmetic override. I'm actually excited to play RuneScape, but for now we are ending the episode. We get the easy Falador task and the beginner Lumbridge task completed alongside a lot of quests. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video.